While watching the Canadian men's national soccer team on some random pitch in the greater Chicagoland area, because while Haiti is somehow playing at home, our boys had to find a home at SeatGeek Stadium. Anywho, I had an epiphany of sorts, a realization while watching this game that this side, this group, was no longer the one that had tortured its supporters into near submission with heartbreak after heartbreak. But to know what I'm talking about, to know where you're going, you have to know where you've come from. And growing up in this country in the 80s and 90s, if you enjoyed any sport outside of hockey or maybe curling, you pretty much pigeonholed yourself to a life of sports misery. God forbid you are a fan of the two biggest world games, basketball or soccer. At the national level, man, you were doomed. The funding was never there. The results were there even less. You were forced to cling to World University Games wins in basketball or boycotted games medal rounds. Not medals, medal rounds. Maybe a decent run in Sydney sprinkled in there. Hell, since the 1986 World Cup, the biggest moments in Canadian men's soccer history were a Gold Cup win in 2000 and a goal in 1994 in a friendly by Eddie Berdusco. It's crazy that a goal from a guy who played a handful of games in the Swiss second division and a couple more in Austria in a friendly against Brazil while they were going to the World Cup and Canada was watching on TV was about all fans had to hang their hat on for years. But look around, kids. Times they are a-changin'. The Canadian women's soccer team busts through the door first with Olympic bronze twice, and it could have and should have been more. The Canadian women's basketball team is ranked 4th in the world, and the Canadian men's basketball team, who when I showed up at the World Championships in Toronto in 1994 as a 19-year-old with long, luscious hair. When I showed up to watch that team, Canada had one NBA player on the squad, and he was raised in the Bahamas. Shout out Rick Fox and my guy Will Njoku. Now, as they get set to host an Olympic qualifying tournament in Victoria, even while missing several NBA players, they will have a roster full of dudes who not only play in the NBA, but play prominent roles in the best league in the world. Okay, this gets me back to soccer and my epiphany. Last night as I watched Canada face Suriname, and don't kid yourselves, because of their use of a sports visa, this Suriname team was littered with top league European pros from the Netherlands with some roots in Suriname, all top level, Eredivisie, and teams like Feyenoord, beyond the Netherlands, to Galatasaray and Union Berlin in the Bundesliga. And after the normal early jitters from Canada, our boys settled in and dominated? Hell yeah! They dominated. For once in a big game against a decent side, it wasn't Canada chasing and hoping and fouling. It was Suriname. And why the hell not? The class on the field for Canada was unlike anything we have ever seen. Alphonso Davies from German Bundesliga champion Bayern Munich playing the beautiful game with Jonathan David from French League 1 champion Lille. Kyle Larin was on a Champions League, won a Champions League spot with Besiktas in Turkey. None of this hoof and hope. No, my friends. And it's littered up and down the lineup. Hell, John Herdman brought MLS regulars and, dare I say, stars Lucas Cavallini and Mark Anthony Kaye off the bench. Let me put it this way. Friend of the show, Dwayne De Rosario, is Canada's all-time leading scorer at 22 all-time goals. Jonathan David now has 15 goals in 14 games at the age of 21. They're not only showing up for Canada these days, they are showing out. And I know I know. There's a section of Canadian supporters yelling at the screen right now out of sheer reflex. Micallef, relax. Please, Timmy, relax. It's still Haiti in Haiti and then a return leg just to get to the final 8 in CONCACAF. I know. I've been there with you. I have taken the voyage, if you will. I remember thinking that the next step was there for Canada in Honduras for the Hex. We built it up to a fever pitch on Tim and Sid, only to watch our boys trip and fall and faceplant and knock out a couple of teeth in an 8-1 loss to Honduras. It was embarrassing. I know what happened in the 2019 Gold Cup against the very same Haitian squad they face next week. 2-0 lead, only to lose 3-2. I know all this, and I'm here to tell you, this is a new day, my friends. The bandwagon is wide open, and it's okay to jump on. No longer will you have to cling to the legendary Vic Router screaming, Burdusco! Or Mobilio. Bunbury. There are new legends, my friends. And they've already been made and fortified in the best leagues in the world. And that's never happened in Canadian soccer. Ever. I know I'm asking for faith from the faithless. But I'm telling you, it will be rewarded. And I'm not saying we're qualifying for Qatar. I'm telling you we have the best team we have ever had. And if not now, very soon. I'm telling you, it's a matter of time. Saturday in Port-au-Prince. Not San Pedro de Sula, but just about. As Nicaragua. Then the return leg at SeatGeek or whatever, because I guess only hockey teams are allowed to cross the border these days. Yeah, it'd be nice to see our boys in Toronto, in Edmonton, but I digress. Canadian soccer fans, I have stood there with you. I know there is trepidation. Be not afraid, my friends. Uncle Timmy's telling you it is the dawn of a new era, and it could be upon us as early as next week.